So, good morning, everybody. We're going to start on our backs, but I want you to do me a favor and just take both of your blocks, hopefully you have them, and set them at the kind of far end of your mat, and then just leave them there. We're going to get to those in a little bit. And then come onto your backs, maybe keep your knees bent. And lengthen through your spine. Just start to feel your body. Draw the shoulders down to the floor. Feel your back nice and neutral, and just kind of get yourself settled. Maybe you take your feet wider on your mat and draw your knees towards center so that you can relax your legs a little bit. And then broaden through your back body. Feel the collarbones widen as well. Let your hands rest on your belly. And just start to tap into your breath. Just feel that. As you inhale, that belly presses in toward the hands. And as you exhale, it softens back down to the floor. Such a simple thing here that we do. Just breathing in and breathing out. And then as you're doing that, maybe notice if you're carrying any unnecessary tension. Is your jaw tight? I was listening to a meditation yesterday, and the guide said to take all the wrinkles out of your forehead, or take all the tension out of your forehead, and let the thoughts go with them as well. So take all the tension out of your forehead and let the thoughts go. So even though we're going to work core today, it is important that we not carry tension all the time in any part of our bodies, right? So here we just focus on the softness of the belly as we breathe in and we breathe out. Good. One more right here. And then let your feet go hips width apart. Draw your right knee to your chest. Take the right leg up to the sky. Your hands are behind your thigh, just so that you can stretch out and support your legs, support everything. Draw the shoulders back toward the floor and very gently point and flex your right foot. Just stretch it out. Good. Couple more like this. Just starting to warm up, and then maybe circle that ankle and circle the other way. And then scrunch your toes really hard. Just scrunch them in and then spread them out. Spread them out. See if you can get space between every toe. And then draw that knee to chest and let that foot come to the floor. Bring your left knee to your chest. Your hands are behind your thigh. Take that leg up to the ceiling. Pause here. We're just gentle stretch of those hamstrings. And then again, point and flex. Just getting the ankles warmed up. One more here. And big circles as if you could draw a circle on the ceiling with your toes, and circle the other way. And bring that knee to chest. Let that foot go to the floor. Bring your right knee to your chest again. Take that leg back up. So, right leg up. Press into your left foot. Take your right leg out to the side. You can use your hand, your right hand to the outside knee or outside thigh. If you want some support here, be sure to tone in your belly and press your left hip. Press your left hip down to the floor and breathe. Maybe the right toes, the right foot toes point down toward the ceiling. Extend through the right heel. See if you can get some straightening to the right knee. Don't hyperextend, but nice and straight. Breathe. Press back through that left hip, left side, and squeeze the legs together. Crisscross the legs so that your left knee goes to the right, your right leg goes to the left, and stretch that outside abductor muscles. Breathe. And kind of feel your hips while we're here, right? Belly is pretty soft here. You might want a little bit of tone there, but just feel that big old stretch along the outside of your right leg. And then bend your right knee, knee over knee, bring both knees to chest, stretch out the back glutes. Release feet to the floor, under your legs, go to the other side. The left leg goes up. The hips are nice and even. When you're ready, open up the left leg to the side. I'm at a wall, so that's as far as we're going today. Press down through your right hip. Maybe press down through your right foot. If you want, you can counter pose by bringing the right knee out to the right. And breathe. And notice. On this beautiful Sunday morning, it sounds like wherever you are, you've got a little bit of sunshine. That is so nice. And when you're ready, bring that leg up, crisscross the legs. Whoo, try to keep that left leg parallel with your hip line so that it doesn't drop down toward the front end of your mat. Really get a nice stretch here. And then bend your left knee, cross those knees, bring both knees to chest. Stretch out that happy little glute and breathe. And release it, both feet to the floor. Good. Just stretch out your right leg. Now, if your blocks are in the way, you can move them out of the way for now, because we'll get to them in a little bit. Just stretch out your right leg. It covers off the floor. Bring your left knee to your chest. Take your left leg up to the sky. If your block happens to be there and you want a little less work, let your right foot rest on your block. Otherwise, you're hovering. Otherwise, the belly starts to tone in. One leg up to the ceiling, one leg reaching really long, hands behind your head, elbows out to the side, tone your belly, and see if you can lift your head and your back up off the floor. And look up at your foot that's up toward the ceiling. Don't lift your chin. Just kind of look up at that ankle or up at that shin. Try to keep everything wide. Now squeeze the legs isometrically toward each other as if you were going to squeeze a block between them. Yep, keep breathing, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your head. Bring the right leg up, lower the left leg, and find that side. Now, if you want a little less, 1, your left foot's going to rest on your block, or 2, you just keep your upper body down. That's a little bit less work. Draw your belly in. Whew. Squeeze it in, everybody. Lift up if you want. Elbows stay mostly to the side. You're kind of gazing at your left or your right ankle. Ooh, feel that belly starting to work already. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the head, bring the leg up, pause, point, flex your feet. Good, bend your knees. Take your feet to the floor. Lower your right knee out toward, or out to the right side until the legs won't split, open anymore. And then let it go the rest of the way and bring your left knee on top of your right. So you're laying on your side. Here's where I want you to play. I want you to lift your left leg up, your left knee up just a few inches. And I've got my head up mostly so I can see that you can see what I'm doing. I want you to squeeze the heck out of your belly and see if you can lift your bottom knee up to your right. Now I'm pushing, I've got my left hand on the floor. I'm giving myself a little push there. If you can, let go of that hand. Squeeze. What are we working, everybody? Sideways. Breathe and lower. Good. We're doing two more on this side, so don't make you switch back and forth. Lift the top knee first. It's a pretty level leg, right? I'm not lifting the heel or lifting the knee. And then squeeze the bottom one up to meet it. And feel your side body really starting to work. Hand to the floor for support if you want. If you can take it off, take it off. Try not to let those knees dive down to the floor. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Woo, breathe, everybody. We got one more. Lift the knee. Pause, squeeze the belly, lift the other knee. See if you can hover them in space and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Oh, good. Push all the way up. Go all the way to the other side, or just turn over. Because my blocks, now that I have them set where I want them, I got to move them anyway. Good. Your knees are at a nice 90 degrees. They're right off your hips. The belly tones in. Now, the other secret here is try not to lean back or lean forward, right? Really stay on your side. Use your hand in front of you to help support. Lift your top knee. Squeeze your bottom knee. Oh, wow. And breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. That was very interesting. That side is harder for me. So, right, information, which side is stronger, which side is weaker? Does it have to do more with the hips? Good. Lift your top leg, lift your bottom leg, find your pose. See if you can take that hand off the floor. Woo, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. And breathe. Good. One more right here. Take the top leg up. Take the bottom leg up to meet it. Try to scrunch through that side body. Find your breath, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. And breathe. Good. Push yourself up. Turn yourself back over to your right side and breathe. And then come up on your elbow. Find a comfortable way to be here. And one of the things, I didn't mention it, but if you have a blanket and you want to put your elbow on a blanket for padding or a pillow or anything like that, go ahead and do that. And if you want to grab one because we're going to be on elbows a bit today. Feel this underside. We've done this kind of stuff before. I want you to squeeze your underside ribs up and just feel that, right? Tone the belly in, lift your top leg up. Scrunch your side body on the top with this leg, like, right? So this kind of scrunch, but then scrunch the bottom side up and breathe. Whew. You can take the arm up. Maybe that looks a little more like yoga, but don't forget this bottom side rib because that's what wants to collapse, right? That wants to drop down because we're fussing with the top side, working internal and external obliques and lower down. Good. This time, squeeze it in. 1, you're going to come back to what we just did. 2, you're going to lift your hips off the floor. Arm up or not. Watch your head, neck. Now press into your forearm so that you can lift out of that shoulder. Good alignment here. Take that top leg up. Scrunch both sides and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. And breathe. Good. We got one more on this side. Squeeze in that bottom side. Lift the hips off the floor optionally. The knees are bent at an angle. Lift the top leg optionally. Try to squeeze in both sides. And breathe. Arm up is also optional. Everything's optional, right? Why not just go to Shavasana? And breathe. Squeeze your belly in, everybody. Whoo. Try to lift that waist away from the floor. Even more, even more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower down. Woo. And lift up. Stretch out that side body. Whew. Good. And change sides. So again, your option to just turn around or flip over on the other side. If you're mat, you're down on elbow. One of the things I've learned about being on elbow here is sometimes it can be as simple as which direction that forearm is, right? Is it straight out? Ah, Amy, be mindful. Or is it more at an angle, right? Optionally, you can be on hand. Optionally, come down even lower so you're off that forearm. That was for my friend Amy there. So first one, you're just pulling this away, right? You should feel it move away from the floor. Lift your top leg and notice how you just want to drop to the floor. So try to squeeze both sides and take the arm up and breathe. 5, keep squeezing the bottom. 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good. Here we go. Number 2, same thing, right? Just stay low or lift your hips off the floor and squeeze that side body away from the floor. Lift your top leg. Whoo! Try to stabilize it. Press into your bottom leg and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Already this morning. Here we go. All right, take it down. Whew. Last one. Remember, lots of choices here. Another possibility, my friend Amy is palm face up to stay off whichever side you're on. I think it was this side. Anyway, lift up, lift the hip, tone the belly, reach the arm, reach the leg optionally, squeeze. So you're squeezing both sides of your body. You're trying to lift that hip and lift that side body off the floor. Whew, 5, 4, breathe. 3, 2, 1, lower down and come up. Good, just come to a seat for a moment. So sometimes, right, working on the elbows can make this whole area cranky. So just also be mindful of that. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, take it over to your right. Big stretch for side body. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Good, inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale left. Good, inhale up. Exhale, hold. Breathe, feel what's happening with your side body, right? So right now we're stretching the left side and we're crunching the right side. I want you to crunch the left side as well. So just draw it into space, right? Draw it in and see how that feels. Hold that, squeeze the lower belly. Take the right arm up. We've been playing with this a little bit in class. Ooh, and feel it, right? What happens if you lean to the right and breathe and hold, hold, hold. Keep the right hand where it is. Take the left arm out from your shoulder and squeeze both sides of your waist at the same time. Lift up, lift up, lift up. Turn that left palm down. and go to the left. Roll your left shoulder back. Find your pose, tone that belly. And then do the same thing, right? You're squeezing the right side ribs in to activate both sides. You got this. Breathe. And when you're ready, squeeze in, lift up. Take it up. See if you can lean toward the left. And breathe. Right? When we talk about core, you all know, right, that this is not just your abdominals. Leave the left hand where it is. Take the right arm out from shoulder. It is everything that your extremities, your arms and legs, are attached to. Whoo! And reach up. Exhale, let it come down. And roll it out. Does anybody else notice my little Buddha picture is a little crooked? Is that making you crazy like me? I'm OCD. Okay, roll it out. All right, so now let's get back to our blocks. Take those blocks. They're at the highest level. They're right next to each other, and they are side by side. You're going to sit in front of those blocks and think happy thoughts, and then take your heels to your blocks. So this first series is from my friend Deb. Thank you, Deb. And I really loved it, so I want to do it. So the first thing is just to press your heels down into your blocks. And then notice your knees, right? Make sure that they are hips width apart, just like you would normally. Hands behind your thighs for a moment. And lift up your chest, but tone the belly. So what is this starting to look like, right? Boat pose, variation of boat pose. Lean back a little bit, tone the belly, lift your chest, and take the arms out. Now, as I press those heels down, the legs stay active. And this is an awesome way to start getting really familiar, comfortable with boat pose. If this is good, this is plenty, stay. Otherwise, lift one heel, lift the other heel. Whew. Keep the chest lifted, keep the shoulders wide, relax your face, right? Even if you have to stick your tongue out, relax your face. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower one heel, lower the other heel, and sit up. And breathe. Take your heels off your blocks and lower them to the second level. Now, if the first one you did, if you did it at high and that was enough, maybe you stay high. But otherwise, we're at second level, and same thing. Dig your heels down into your blocks. Lift up your chest. Tone your belly. Broaden through your shoulders and collarbones. Maybe lean back a little bit. Whew. You don't really have to do much more. And feel this, right? This going on. If you want more, arms up. If you want more, heels up. Breathe. You got it. Maybe you do a little dance. Ba, 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 ba. Maybe you put one heel back down, the other heel back down, and lift up. And breathe. All right, one more here. Drop those blocks to the lowest level. See, you all are making this look easy, even though I can't see you. All right, same thing. Dig in, lift up. Maybe the hands stay here. Maybe you lean back a little bit. Feel that core engaged. Chest lifts. Tailbone is always long here. Arms come out. Lift up. Lift one heel. Lift the other heel. And breathe. Woo! Mamma mia. Good. Take both arms to your right. We just brought the obliques in. Bring them both to the left. Good. Bring them center. Whew. Lower the heels. Lean forward and just round over those legs. And breathe. So we create, right? We create heat in core. We create heat in the belly, right? That helps us with so many things. Take your blocks, bring them back up to the highest level. Dig your heels in. Good. I want you to take your hands behind your thighs for a moment, lift your chest and lean back. Lean back, lean back. Good. Maybe take your hands. I have mine in a soft fist right in front of my chest. I'm going to dig in. And there's a couple choices here. One, you're right here, right? You're just holding. There's nothing else really happening. You are just engaging core. If you have no back stuff to speak of, other than life, come down the rest of the way. Whew. Make sure your knees are bent and then see if you can dig your heels in and lift up. You can reach your arms forward. Good. Otherwise, you're here and then coming up to release. Okay. Good. Come down slow. Come up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Push into the blocks. Lift. We're doing 5 of these. Lower. Here's your other option. You're leaning back, whole bunch of work. You're coming up forward. Good. Hang in. Up and down. Woo. Up and down. And pause. Just stay down. Bring your knees to your chest. I think I only did 4 because I was doing all the demo stuff, so I'm allowed. Good. And then roll over to your side and come up for a moment. Lower your blocks to the medium level. Put those heels on those babies. We'll get the hard stuff done early. See? That way we have all just fun for the rest of class. Dig your liar. No. Arms out. Lean back. Just feel right here. Whoo. Dig the heels in. And just come back as far as you can without collapsing. And then pull up. Good. Exhale back. Watch the tailbones. Pull up. Take it back. Don't let the chest collapse. Pull up and back and up. We got one more. Press back. Hold right here. Oh, feel that. Feel that. Feel that. Lift your chest. Push down on the blocks. That's actually harder, right? And breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come on up. Oh. Move your blocks out of the way. Last one here. Promise. Half boat pose, right? Something we don't practice very often. I find it a really interesting pose. I like full boat better personally, but they both have a lot of benefit. So dig your heels in to your mat. Keep the knees somewhat bent and come down until your back is pretty much on the floor. And breathe. We're going to start with our hands behind our head because I like the head and the neck support. So you're not tucking your chin, your heels are digging in, your knees are bent. Hold that right there and feel the work starting to happen. Lift one heel off the floor. Squeeze, squeeze your belly. Lift your other heel off the floor. If you want, reach your arms. If you don't, right? Breathe. Hands back behind your head, bend your knees, bring them in toward chest. And then roll all the way up. Come into boat pose. Whew. Here's where it gets a little harder. You're going from boat to half boat, okay? So push the legs out, go slow, go slow, go slow. Breathe, look at your toes or hands behind. Lower down. Bend your knees. We're doing that one more time. Roll it up. One more time. The crowd goes wild. I'm about to have a mutiny in the room. All right, feet up. Boat, maybe you stay here, right? I know who some of you are. Watch these low backs, right? You are squeezing the heck out of your belly. Start to straighten the legs, start to lower down. Maybe you're looking at your toes, maybe not. Woo! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Take the arms overhead, stretch out your legs, squeeze your butt. Squeeze your butt and let it go. Bend your knees. Take your knees toward your chest and over to the right. Leave your left shoulder on the floor. So we're in just a typical twist. Just breathe. Your right hand can rest on your belly or on your side obliques, right? Press your left shoulder down. Lift both knees off the floor. Breathe. 5. If this is like impossible, separate the legs or leave your bottom one down. But you're hovering in space. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Just do the other side. So a little different from the one we did earlier where we were fully on our side. This time we're in a twist first, where the knees are to the left, the right shoulder plasters down to the floor. Squeeze your belly, and then if you want, lift one or both knees. Breathe. You got it, you got it, you got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just lower the knees where they are and press all the way up. Good job, everyone. And come onto your hands and your knees. Feel free to use your blanket, 1 under your knees or 2 toward the front of your mat, because we're going to shortly be on elbows. So if you want, we're not going to go to down dog right now, so you don't have to worry about your hands slipping. You can put your hands on a blanket and find table pose, right? Just a simple table pose. And I've been playing with something lately of engaging a small crunch before we do certain things. And it's been kind of an interesting thing. So just from this kind of neutral to almost a crunch of the low belly. So here in table pose, I want you to engage a small crunch. In yoga, it would be considered Uddiyana Bandha, or an abdominal lock. And in yoga, what you would do is bring the belly in and bring it up. And that's hard for some folks. So I just want you to do a little baby crunch of pubic bone toward belly button. And feel that difference. Now, from that crunch or that abdominal lock, now I can't say it. I want you to lengthen your chest. So we still have neutral, right? We're not curled up in a ball. Press your right leg back. Lift the leg, crunch that belly again, lengthen your chest. Take the left arm out. So just a little bit different than what we're used to doing as we engage. I always say engage, but instead I want you to just feel like you're doing just a baby abdominal crunch. All right, listen up. Your left elbow is going to your left hip, your right knee is going to your right elbow. So we're staying on the same side, and then press out. Squeeze them both in and press out. Good, bring them in. Press them out. This is 4, bring it in. Woo, press it out. Last one, bring it in. Press it out and hold. Squeeze in the little crunch, but keep the chest from collapsing. And lower that hand to the floor. Shake out the wrist that's been sitting on a blanket. and switch sides. If you have wrist strength in a way that you can go soft fist, feel free to do that, by the way. So here we are again. Left leg is out. Baby crunch, lift the left leg. Find that. Breathe. Raise the right arm forward. Nice crunch of the belly. Remember, same side. Bring the left knee to the left elbow, right elbow to left or to right hip. Reach out. Squeeze it in and out. Squeeze it in and out. Yep, two more. In, out, and in. Nice job. Come on, come on, come on. And out. Press in. Release your hand. Release your knee. Come on down to your elbows. Turn your palms face up. And just curl your wrists, your fists into your wrists and out. Curl them in and out. Last one. Good. Now, plank pose. Go to soft fist so that your pinky side is down. You're on your elbows. If there's a reason not to be on your elbows, come on to your hands, okay? Walk your knees back until you are in half plank. And then imagine that you are squeezing a beach ball. So your chest is engaged, but the collarbones stay wide. Now from this simple half plank, I want you to crunch your belly in. It's a small move of a lengthening, almost a tucking of the pelvis, but then lift your chest forward and breathe. And just feel the core work having to happen to keep that crunched in. Lower toward the floor and push back out. So you're just lowering your whole torso, not your hips, and up. It's like doing these very bizarre push-ups. And up. Two more. Squeeze down. Squeeze up. Last one. Squeeze down. Squeeze up. And then lower down all the way and come into Sphinx. Shake it out. Palms up or palms down. If your palms are up, you can do little baby curls with your wrist just to work with the back of the wrists a little bit. Good. You got this, everybody. All right. Choice number one. Right back where you were. Knees curl, half plank, or knees up. You're still doing the curl, right? And here it's harder still to curl in, but then lengthen your chest so you don't just turn into a big banana. And breathe. And then just try to lower the whole torso and up. It's only an inch or two. Down and up. Down. Up. Two more. Down. And last one. And up and lower. Holy moly. Amazing to me that just lifting the knees off the floor changes everything. Lower your upper body, just support your head, lengthen one leg and lift that leg off the floor. Keep both hips on the floor, squeeze your butt. And lower, lift the other side. Whew. And lower. Good. All right, come on up. Move your blanket out of the way for now. If you were using one, or towel works great for that kind of stuff. Plant your hands, downward facing dog. And just bend one knee and then the other, just stretch it out. Kind of claw the fingers into the floor, press the rack of knuckles into the floor. Really stretch it out, everybody. And then stretch side to side, right? Just lean the hips to one side, lean the hips to the other side. You got it. And come to plank. You're on hands. You can choose elbows, broaden the collarbones, do a baby crunch, but keep the chest long. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap one knee. Tap the other knee. Yep, tap one. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower both knees and sit back in child's pose. Find your breath. Think of something really happy inside. Think a happy thought. Core work is never easy, but hopefully it's enjoyable, right? If we strengthen our core, we change everything else, I think, about our lives, not just our physical presence, the way we move through the world, but our internal strength, our mental strength, our heart strength. It all seems to come together. All right, so come on up from your child's pose and just step forward with your right leg. I'm gonna take my socks off here. Step forward with your right leg, come into a low lunge. Feel free to have your blocks here, by the way. You can have your hands to your blocks. Sometimes that can be really nice so that you're not kind of doing a deep dive toward the floor. And just feel your lunge and feel your back glute in particular. And breathe. And then push off your blocks to lift your chest, squeeze a little crunch into your belly, and take the arms up. And notice that maybe the transition from here to here got a little easier because of the engagement here. So from here, your arms are up. I want you to curl down to your blocks and just tap and then lift up and move all of it from here. It's like doing this weird cat and cow pose, right? So squeeze down and crunch and reach up. If you want to go past blocks, reach down, crunch to come up. Good, last one, crunch down and lift up. And then take your hands to your blocks. Simply switch sides. Taking this really slowly today. Breathe. How's Olivia doing out there? Same thing. I want you to crunch in, right? Feel that immediate change. And then lift up. And then crunch down as if you were doing a cat pose. And up. Crunch down. It's right here, everybody. And up. Good. Maybe you shoot past the blocks and up. Last one, crunch down and lift up. And let those hands come to your blocks. Lower your blocks to the lowest level. Lift your knee up off the floor, step back down dog. Hands are on blocks or not. If they're on blocks, they're nice and low so they don't get tippy. Plank pose. Breathe, listen up. Lower your left knee to the floor. Kickstand it out. Turn to your side. Your right foot presses, your right pinky side presses, and lift up. Breathe. Want a little bit more, lift the right leg. Yep, what do you, right here. Try to lift the leg. Keep it sideways, but lift till you feel the crunch. And then draw the underside ribs up as well. And breathe. Good. Lower that hand to the block. Lower your knee. Plank pose. Where's your plank? Little tiny crunch. Lengthen through your breastbone. Find your breath. Squeeze your butt. Lower your right knee. Kickstand that leg out. Let your left leg turn. Open it up. Bring that underside ribs up. Squeeze in through your belly. Lift the left leg if you want. And breathe. Lower that hand. Plank pose. Hang in. We're doing one more, both sides. Woo! The first one's learning, the second one is doing. Lower your left knee. Kickstand out. Turn your right foot. Lift your arms. Squeeze the underside ribs and lift the leg. Breathe. Release. Lower. Plank pose. Woo-hoo. Lower your right knee, kickstand out, turn it around. Breathe, bring those low ribs in with you. And lower the hand, lower the knee. Little child's pose, just a small one. You don't need it really. Breathe. And table pose. Come on up. Right foot forward. Choices here. You're where you were before. Your hands are on your blocks. Your blocks can be up at second level. And you're doing that belly tuck, lift up and lower, right? Or you're going to lift your left knee off the floor. Make sure your legs are wide enough and draw the inner thighs toward each other. Feel how that strengthens everything. And then curl, tuck, crunch your belly, then lift your chest. Here we go. Lift up. Careful here. Crunch down. Lift up. Crunch down. Remember, you can be left knee down, up and down. Last one. Lift up. Good. Crunch halfway down. Feel that. Reach the arms back. Keep squeezing. Uddiyana Bandha, right? Oh, bring it in. Bring it up. Lift your chest. And lower your hands to your blocks. Lower your left knee. Switch sides. Left foot forward. Right foot back. Breathe. On this sunny day in Sarasota and Clayton and Ontario and Connecticut. Not bad. Not bad at all. Remember, you're either knee down, doing the crunch, or knee up. Squeeze those thighs together. Engage everybody. Squeeze the belly in. Lengthen your chest. Take the arms up. That's, here we go. Take it down. Squeeze down. Squeeze up. And down. And up. And down. And up. This is our last one. Take it down. And up. And then crunch halfway, like, right? Feel that, just kind of engagement. But then keep the chest tall. Reach the arms back. Press into those legs. Find it. And lower your hands to the blocks. Listen up. You're simply going to step forward. Simply, darling, going to step forward. Find your body. Nice forward fold. Certainly use your blocks for your forward fold, especially if you're not going all the way down. And bend your knees and come on up to standing. And roll it out. Good. Maybe even roll the arms, circle. Stretch them out. Interpretive dance. No. Okay, here we go. Shake it out. So take your feet a little bit wider than your normal, and then mostly your feet are pointing straight ahead. If they're slightly angled, that's okay. Take your hands to your hips and maybe just shake them a little bit side to side. Right, and you'll notice that unless you are purposefully engaging, not much, not really, my butt's not engaged, my belly's not engaged. I'm just kind of shaking it out. And then kind of tone in a little bit right here and to the back and take it center. I want you to bend your knees. Now, here's the tricky part. We're working on some balance work, by the way. You might want to be near a wall just for the heck of it, just to have it nearby. I want you to lean in, like really lean into your right leg. My knee is bent. And then squeeze in the belly, lift your chest, push off, and lift, whoop, lift up. Thanks, Wall. Squeeze the belly in. You're going to release slowly. Bend the knee and step down. Lean over to your left like it's a purposeful lean and peel your right foot off. Take it up. Bend your knee and slowly come to center. Good. Here we go again. Lean into your right. Find your center of gravity over that leg and then stand up. Bend your knee and open. That was a little quick for me. Lean to the left, push up, lift up, squeeze, bend, down. Now, if you go a little wider, you might have noticed I've gone wider. It gets a little harder. Bend, go wide. Oh, lean, push, lift. It's all coming from your bellies, everybody. Everything from your core. Down, out. Oh, good. One more, both sides. Woo! If you're watching the computer, you're probably falling because I'm trying to find a still spot. But if you're watching the computer, you can see my legs shaking like crazy. Bend, out, down, last one. Woo, lift. And lower. And shake it out. Right? Because we're not always moving this way. Sometimes we're moving this way. Sometimes we're reaching. We're working with this leg strength, right? And although straight up and down is such good, strong alignment, sometimes it is the bent knee that works those muscles more, right? Than if the leg was straight. So just try that as you're standing. And I'm turning sideways because my pants are dark. It's hard to see. Just bend the legs. Shake it out. I've been thinking about Motown music lately. I got to play some today. And then squeeze in, peel one foot, keep the other knee bent, and lift your foot off the floor. Right? Single leg squat. Notice that your chest is not collapsing, your shoulders are not rounding, your belly is crunched in, a little teeny tiny crunch of that belly. And lower down. Go to the other side. Bend the knee. Peel the other foot off. It doesn't have to go far. Try to unscrunch your standing legs' toes. All that wobbling is good information. Crunch in through the belly, keep the chest lifted. Find your still spot. And let go. And shake it out. All right, come on back to the front of your mat. Take a sip of my tea. And you know, it's interesting because we're all strong, and what you learn is that you're strong in different ways, right? So if you do one thing all the time, you're strong in that way. And so we want to challenge our bodies to get strong in a whole bunch of different ways. Inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down. Step back, right leg. Take your hands to your blocks. In fact, take the blocks up at the highest level. Drop your knee to the floor. and listen up. Listen up out there. I'm just having fun with myself today. Yay. So your hands are on the blocks. I want you to flip your toes under in the back, squeeze your little behinds, and lift your knee off the floor, straighten the leg, and then lower. Yep, and then lift and lower, best you can, even if it's an inch, and lower. Good, last one, lift, lower halfway. Right? There's the rub. Lift halfway, make sure your front leg is bent 90 degrees. I want you to squeeze the crunch into your belly. Squeeze the legs isometrically toward each other. See if you can come up. Let me tell you, this is some work. Breathe, everybody. Yep, 5, 4. Where's the crunch in your belly? 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower your hands to your block. Lower your knee to the floor. Just come into a sweet little lunge and stretch that out. And switch sides. Bring your left knee back. Bring your right foot forward. You start in this little lunge. Flip your toes under. Just lift your knee off the floor. Your hands are on your blocks. Try not to overweight them. And tap down. So for 5 of these, lift up, squeeze the legs, and lower. Lift up and squeeze. Even I forget to smile sometimes. I'm like, man, I'm doing some work here. Up and down. Last one, lift, hold. Check your front leg. Make sure it's at a nice 90-degree angle. Bend your back leg. You might have to adjust your pose a little bit once you do that. Feel that. Squeeze that crunch into your belly. Don't collapse your chest. See if you can maybe come to fingertips. Squeeze the legs together. See if you can lift up. And breathe. That's it. Hang in, hang in, hang in. Squeeze those legs toward each other. Make them work, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hands to the blocks. Lower your knees. Release that foot. Just come into a deeper lunge to stretch that out. Good. Set your blocks aside. Hands to the floor, lift up, step back, downward facing dog. Breathe. Plank pose. Listen up. Right? You're starting, every time I say listen up, you're like, oh crap, now what? I want you to turn. There's 2 moves here. You're going to turn to your side, left side, while your right foot steps forward. It is a variation of side plank. So you're going over to the pinky side of your long left foot. Don't let your outside ankle collapse. Pretend that foot is stepping on a floor. Your right foot can be anywhere that supports you and doesn't hurt. Push your bottom hip off the floor, away from the floor. Reach the top arm up and breathe. 5. It's a number 5 today. 4, 3, squeeze up. 2, 1. Lower your hand, turn your back foot, step back to down dog to readjust your feet, come to plank. Same thing, at the same time, you turn sideways on your right foot, your left foot steps in front of you, right about your hip level or wherever it makes sense. Squeeze up through your underside ribs. Find your breath and notice. 5, don't let your outside ankle collapse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hand. Transition, down dog. Lower your knees. And either come to child's pose or hero pose. Anything that feels good, shake out the wrists. Breathe. Be mindful of your shoulders, of course, right? We want that stack from the shoulder to the wrist. We're almost done. So when we think of core, we don't just think of the front abdominal muscles. We think of the side obliques. We think of the back muscles, right? It really is amazing. All right, come on up. Now, here's the thing. Listen up. No. We're going to go from plank, and you have a couple of choices here. You're either going to do what we were just doing. I love this version. Or when you turn to your side, scissor your feet, one behind the other, and come to side plank, full side plank, right? Some of you can stack feet. I find that more challenging. I like the scissored, so I don't have to worry as much about balance. Breathe. What did you choose while I'm waiting here? You got it. And lower that hand. Come to plank. Choose whether to drop on your right and step forward with your left, or just step that left foot back. Scissor. Breathe. You got it. Woo-hoo. And release. Lower your knees. If you happen to have a blanket and you want it for under your elbows, we are almost done. I did warn you, it was core. How many do I have left in class? 2. No. So here we are. Maybe you have a blanket under your elbows, maybe not. I want you to lay on your left side and find that place again for your forearm that makes sense for you. The challenge is this stacking has to feel good for you. Otherwise, you overweight that joint, right? So remember, you can change the position of your arm pretty much any way. You can do fists, soft fist, you can do palm face down. So here we are. Here we are. Draw the ribs in. Take your front hand, your top hand to the floor. Straighten the legs. Right. So 1, you're going to just pull up and hang out, maybe lift a leg, okay? So that's your easier version of that. 2, you're going to take your front foot in front, just like we did with our hand, and lift up side plank. 3, you know what it is. Stack the legs. Squeeze up. Push the hips off and lift. Woo, stay out of that shoulder. Keep the collarbones wide. Find your breath. Woo, lift away from the floor. Lift, 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 lift. And hand to the floor. Slowly lower down. And then push up and stretch out that side. Just let the shoulder come up to the ear. Stretch out your whole side body. We don't work side body a whole bunch. It's really good stuff. All right, switch sides. Last one, I promise. You're on your right elbow. Your palm can be up, sideways, down, angled. Pull the ribs up. Straighten the legs. Whew. Your choice. 1, 2, or lift for 3. Squeeze up. Don't collapse your outside bottom ankle. Don't let it come to the floor. Keep it lifted if you can. And breathe. Good. You want to count with me this time? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. All right, I can tell from the room that that's enough of that. All right, so grab a block, keep it next to you, and lay down on the floor. Come onto your backs. That feels good. That feels really good right now. And just take the arms out to cactus pose. Just stretch out your shoulders. So all of those, planks, side planks work. I mean, not only are we working our core, that's pretty obvious, but wow, a lot of chest and back work, especially with single arm support poses. So just breathe. Let the arms float overhead. Keep them soft, but really just kind of stretch out through the upper body. Draw the chest toward the floor. Chin is as level as you can make it. This ponytail out of my way. Just feel that. Feet are on the floor. Do a baby crunch. Just a baby one. And then feel the more Uddiyana Bandha part of that crunch, which is both in and up. It's as if you could draw the abdominal muscles up and under your ribs. From here, lift your hips. Simple, easy bridge pose. Your arms are still overhead. Breathe. Lengthen your tailbone. Draw the shoulders broad or wide. Press into your feet. And then let your arms float back down to your sides. Keep your pose. Hold on. Squeeze the outer hips toward the bone, right? Just squeeze everything in, pressing down through the hands, through the arms. And lower all the way down, all the way down. And then grab your block. Place it on the lowest level underneath your sacrum. That too should feel good. I hope it does. Lengthen your left leg. Just let it come straight down to the floor and relax it. Bring your right knee to your chest and hold your thigh underneath or hold your thigh with your hands underneath your leg. And just relax. Start to let your breath come back to a neutral, soft in and out. Do a tiny tuck of the belly and lift your left foot an inch or two off the floor. Lengthen that leg. And then lower it back to the floor. Just one more here. Lift it up. Make sure your belly's toned when you lift. And lower it. And then just relax it. You don't even have to hold your right knee. You can let it chill. Let your upper body chill. Maybe your arms are out to cactus because it just feels so good. Deep breath, everyone. And then slide your left foot back to the floor. Lower your right. Once your right foot's on the floor, straighten it all the way down. You're solidly on your block, sacrum-wise. You're not near your low back. Bring your left knee to your chest. You can hold it or not. It's up to you. Back of the neck is long, but it's not flat. It has a little curve to it, a space behind it. Your jaw's soft. Lift, squeeze the belly, little tiny crunch. Lift the right leg an inch or two. Hold and lower. Good. One more. Squeeze the low belly, lift the leg. And lower. And then just pause. And then slide your right leg up to meet your left. Make sure you are solidly on your block. Take both legs up. Hands are down at your sides. Shoulders are nice and wide. Little inversion here. This is probably one of my favorite inversions. It's a variation of legs up the wall, right? If you were at a wall, you could take your legs up the wall. But there's something about this one, to be on the block, to have the pelvis in this, at this angle, makes it so effortless for me. Feel your breath. Maybe close your eyes here and just invite the taste of joy into your body. Just invite the taste of joy into your body. Maybe that is chocolate pudding. Maybe it is Motown music. Maybe it is your granddaughter visiting. Maybe it is a sunny day in Clayton, Georgia. One more breath right here. Bend both knees. Put one foot on the floor at a time. Take your time here. Pause again. Press into your feet, lift your hips, move the block out of the way, give your glutes one good squeeze, and then lower all the way down to the floor. Bring both knees to chest. Straighten one leg to one corner of your mat, straighten the other leg to the other corner of your mat, and come to Shavasana. Make sure you are warm enough, snuggled up, feeling good. Putting on blankets or socks or whatever it is you need for you. And then feel your body soften down to the floor. And whatever came to mind when I suggested that you bring in a taste of joy in your body, bring that to mind again, or maybe bring in something else. Just feel it. Let your body still itself. Take any tension from your forehead away and let your thoughts go with it. Feel the jaw slacken and feel the soft movement of breath. can you soften more right here? Can you let go of something that you are still holding on to? Start to deepen your breath. Start to bring awareness back as you wiggle your toes, your fingers, drawing your knees to your chest. Rolling over to one side, curling all the way over into seedling pose. And then very slowly pressing all the way back up. Take your time.